Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. No, I ain't loafing. I know you guys think I'm loafing. I've been busy. Check that out. Got all them rivets on. Got the other side done. And just went and took me a break. Went and got me a slushie. I'm ready to get back after it. It's really going pretty good. Except for the stuff, it's like a huge sleeping pill. Oh man, I just had this unplugged. I don't know if it's warm yet, but it's like a tranquilizer. I get to doing it, then before you know it, I start yawning and can't hardly keep my eyes open. I've got to force myself. Gotta go. Gotta go right now. So here it is, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm putting rivets on. Here we go, it's a little better. You guys see? But I'm actually getting the hang of it pretty good. Going pretty fast. This iron gets hot on this fresh primer and it goes fast. Still not quite up to full temperature. Hey, I got a letter today from one of my fans. Guys, he was not an RC pilot when he found Bob TV, but he recently just got his first trainer and got his first flight up. Let's all get a hoo-ah out. Man, I have to go get your name again off that letter. I'm sorry. Well, then you just gotta clean out the tub. But he says, his wife says he spends a lot of money, and he just got his trainer. He ain't got into the expensive stuff yet. This is what you tell her. It's cheaper than drinking. You know what I mean? You know, I look at it like this. Anything a man does costs money. You know, I don't care if it's golfing. Golfing's an expensive game. I know some people who play it. Fishing. For years I owned a boat and Balcom had a fifth wheel and we went out every weekend, at least every other weekend somewhere. We spent a lot of money. My cousin races cars. You wouldn't believe the money he spends. Or a guy that goes to a bar every night. You know what I mean? It's just, I was telling my wife, I said, I could go to the bar or I could go to the hobby shop. The choice is yours. No. My wife's has always been kind of understanding. Well, see, when we had kids, when our kids were little, I didn't have but one airplane flying at a time. You know, and I'd sell it and get me something else. I used to build for other people, you know, to get my stuff, because my paychecks pretty much went to the family. Always had to do a little extra work to get my stuff, you know. But I think it's you know, good for a man just to have something to do rather than go home and watch TV, you know. And he also wanted to know If you can make molds out of aluminum, man, if you make some molds out of aluminum, them would be the best molds you ever seen. You can make it work. Now we're getting up to temperature. And it goes pretty fast. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Aluminum makes awesome mold, man. I'll just go as far as I can go without having to spin it. See what, my dang hand's getting tired. I can't hold it like that no more. I gotta hold it like this. I got to get the Kung Fu grip on it. My hand is getting so sore. Slept on it wrong or something last night. Kind of was sore this morning before I even got started. But I've been jamming today. I got this whole thing almost done. Because I just primed it this morning. There's a lot of panel lines on this nose. I got the other side down. I got to do the bottom. Bottom ain't too bad. It's all these. There was 2 places where it had 4 rows of rivets, up there and down there. Now, there's a bunch of rivets on this airplane. There's a bunch. You know, I've had people tell me exactly how many rivets they've had to put on their planes, and I don't know how they can do that. I sure ain't gonna sit there and count. 18,847. They're all coming out pretty consistent too. That's what I like. Pretty consistent. I want to get them wings out here the next day or two. Should, if I get most of this done tonight, I'll have it done in no time tomorrow. I'm just going to sand it with some 400. It's ready to paint. Get them wings out here. I need to get them electric actuators hooked up. And get them wings sanded. They won't be bad, they'll go fast. Just flat wings, you know. Not this big old fuselage. Then I'm going to come back. I don't want to return it yet. Get all this on this little area done, then I'll rotate her around. But I think this freestyle is definitely the way to do it. Just try to keep them at 3/8 of an inch. Where you're coming up to these corners, sometimes you got to fudge them down a little bit, you know. About 3/8 of an inch looks good. Try not to go over 3/8 and not closer than 1/4, you know. But sometimes you just got to. Like old Lauren used to say, when people get that close and start inspecting your airplane, you need to just step on their head. You know, so it's, oh, that rivet's a little too close to that one. It's time to step on their head. You know what I mean? This is to be judged from about 5-6 foot away. It'd probably be a good Top Gun airplane, man. You know, probably would. I'll tell you guys, my fuel tank's leaked. I gotta come up with something different. I'm gonna try some vacuum infusion on them fuel tanks. I heard that was the way to do it. And because you can't see the holes. You know, it's just, they're tiny, tiny. And just little pinholes. And vacuum infusion, you won't have them pinholes. As soon as I get some money, I'm gonna go down to Associated and get some infusion resin. At the moment, all my spare cash is going into this thing. Once this thing gets up to temperature good, and keep that bit nice and sharp. You gotta push on it a little bit though. You know? Bam, just comes up perfect when you start adjusting it. You gotta be able to judge distances, you know. Like look at a piece of wood and mark the center and have it be really close. If you can do that, you'll be really good at this. And like I said, like old Todd, he had a completely painted plane, and he burnt this into the paint and then clear coated it. And it says it looks really good. I haven't seen it yet. There's just several different ways you can do it. You know, ideally it'd be nice to get a crashed wing. You know, crashed fuselage, and do a little testing like I did before you go to it, and kind of picture it in your head. Kind of depends on what you want. If you're doing something like the Thunderbirds, they ain't weathered. These things were cleaned and polished, you know, and the rivets are painted over. But doing like a World War II plane, you just do this right on top of your paint, then wet sand it. You see where I wet sanded it in the back? It's not. It really tones it down. That just looks extreme now. Hit it with some 400, and it tones it down. Oh man, did you guys see the tornadoes in Oklahoma City? Wow. Yeah, that's just not very far from here. South, a couple hours. There's a lot of people never seen tornadoes. People in California. You guys don't get them in England and stuff either. Yeah, and I don't think in many places in the world actually get tornadoes. I think Canada now and then. Am I right, fellas? Australia, I think, gets tornadoes. Well, we're right here in Tornado Alley, baby. And I've grown up. I know when to go for cover, guys. I don't play with them, you know. But I know. I watch the weather. You know, if that would have been all red, we're over my house, I would have been in the basement. But I just grew up, my dad is standing in the yard. It's just, you know, in all my life here, I only seen one tornado, and that was that great big one that hit in 91. It was at my father-in-law's house, and it hit his house square. That was the only tornado I've ever seen in my whole life of living here. The others were, you know, the one that went through in 2000. I was out of town working. That's the one that went through the middle of Hayesville, just 2 blocks over, right after we built this house. But I was in Florida, working on a cruise ship when that one hit. Tornadoes don't mess around though, man. Now the people in Oklahoma's got basements. I heard it's because of the dirt or something, but they said on the news, no, it's just because it's cheaper. But none of them houses had basements. See, they all got basements around here, but no schools do. I've never heard of a school that had a basement. No, I'm real sorry them kids got killed. I mean, that's a terrible tragedy. But then people were talking like the schools where they're from's got basements. You know, I grew up here, and every school I ever went to, you went out to the hall and covered your head. Man, where are you going to have a basement big enough for thousands of kids? You know, there's some big schools nowadays, and whew, that's a terrible tragedy though. But that's how we did it. You know, we had tornado drills, tornado sirens all the time when I was a kid in school, and I've never heard of a school having a basement. You know, ground level, about it, around here anyway. But, you know, the people on CNN, oh, I can't believe schools don't have basements. And your school did? Man, that'd be terrible though. I just can't even imagine that. You know, being a parent myself, and oh man, that'd be hard. Losing a child in a school in a tornado, that'd be rough stuff. And I feel for them people 100%. It's just that guy on the news. Man, you need to take a tour of the tornado belt, man. None of them schools got basements. You know, none's just never been hit before like that. Man, I'm gonna mess around and get this thing done. I doubt we'll get it done. I think I'll leave some for tomorrow. It's already 1 in the morning. I'm gonna do the canopy too. Bam. Bam, he said. See, she's looking pretty good. I think they're really coming out good. There's just a lot of rivets on this thing. Oh, I forgot a row up there. See, a lot of rivets. But see, once I get them sanded, they tone down. Still gotta pull all my tape out of here. Can't forget to get that row. I'll go back over it. But there's bunts in them 4 rows all the way back there. All the way back. Whew, bunch of rivets. But I actually got out my plastic model too. And I had left off some panel lines off that first one. This one wasn't on there, and I wanted to get this right, mainly. And I seen a couple panel lines that were left off, so went ahead and put them on there. It's looking pretty good. But we'll get her finished up tomorrow, get this thing ready to paint, get them wings out here. And think about maybe going flying this weekend. Wes is leaving town. So just be me and Calvin. Well, never know. Might be some tomcat flying action, baby. We'll see what the weather looks like. Till then, we'll see you back in the shop. Same Bob time, same Bob station.